I want to talk a little bit about maternal and infant mortality and morbidity, because that is a huge issue, and there's a demonstrated disparity that negatively impacts Black women in particular. My first lady, Tammy Murphy, under her leadership and her husband's leadership, has really been engaging actively in this whole issue and has assembled experts to deal with the issue and to recommend things like dealing with bias, implicit bias, ensuring there are more providers, etc. I want to invite you, either virtually or in person, to have a conversation with her, with me, of course, and with her team, so that you might know what we're doing and you might look at it as some best practices. Because I think that this is important. For me, all of the good intentions in the world are great, but I'm really focusing on accountabilities and what is actually going to impact the well-being of the people that we're targeting. So with regard to that, I wanted to just share that with you. The whole issue of mental health. I'm telling you, this budget, it is very encouraging for me. It signals help is here. Help is more than just a concept. It is here, and I want to make sure that you have an understanding of what's on my mind. First of all, I did an emergency task force on Black youth suicide and mental health, because we saw that there was an uptick in that community. And a report resulted in that and some recommendations. And I need you to take a look at that, and I hopefully be able to support us in those recommendations, but both in resources and in practice. The NIH has been talking to us as we've been talking to them, because we're concerned that there's not been enough research in the area that impacts minorities in this situation. There's not been enough stakeholders discussions. There's not been enough people reviewing grants, and there's not been enough allocations of grant money to those issues that have been identified by people who are expert in the areas and have community relationships. So I'd like very much to know if you had any discussions with NIH, if you know of anything that they're doing right now with regard to making sure that there is greater conversation among the various stakeholders, and if we're going to be able to move forward in ensuring greater diversity in NIH, in the conversations that take place, and in the kind of review of grants and areas of grants. If you might want to comment.
Congressman Watson Coleman, first, it's a pleasure to be here with you, take your questions, and know, again, your spirit hasn't changed. And so absolutely, I look forward to working with you on all these things. I've had conversations with the various agencies within HHS. I've made it very clear, equity will permeate everything we do. And when it comes to NIH, whether it's the data, whether it's the studies and surveys, and whether it's the participation rates, we want to make sure that it is done in a way that incorporates everyone. We don't want to leave anyone out. And so I welcome your input, your participation. Look forward to hearing some of the thoughts that you have. We are putting more than $200 million into this issue of maternal mortality, because we know, and it's especially high for Black women and Alaska Native women as well. And so we're going to make sure that what we do is put resources behind what we say. And look
Can I just say in closing that the Office of Civil Rights is so vitally important, and that's where we will look for the accountability. So I do look forward to subsequent conversations with you specifically, Mr. Secretary, regarding how are we going to hold the offices within your department accountable in ensuring that the civil rights and the pursuit of equity is actually happening.